school year. That's despite a decision by the Basic Education Department delaying the reopening of schools by 2 weeks. So it's February 15th. Let's bring in now our reporter, Nosipho Mncube. She's live for us in Johannesburg. Nosipho, a very good morning to you. So confirm for us, are there schools in Gauteng that have opened today?
Yes, Blaine, there are schools, I can confirm that to you, that have opened today. Earlier we were at one of the Curro branches, Curro Aurora, which was in Randburg, speaking to some of the parents as to what motivated their decision to bring their children to school. As I'd mentioned in my report earlier, that some parents that I spoke to last night had indicated to me that their kids have been attending school since last week. We understand that Curro Orientation Week began last week, where the higher grades, such as the grade 8 to 12s, were attending school just to familiarize themselves with the business, or with the systems rather, that they'll be using with regard to remote learning. But upon our arrival at Curro Aurora, we did see a number of grades making their way into school, and we understood from speaking to the parents there that they are approaching their learning system the same way that they did last year, where different classes will be coming in on different days. They'll be approaching it with the staggered approach as they did last year. But as I had also mentioned in my report earlier about the backlash that they've received from some organizations, one of those being the Congress of South African Students, who are opposing the decision made by Curro to reopen their schools, saying, and I quote, that they fear that a learner from Curro will contact the virus from the racist institution and take it into their communities, where learners whose parents cannot afford the process of applying medical aid will be affected. This is a quote from their statement that was released on the 17th of January. But we understand that a representative from COSAS will be speaking to the SABC to clarify as to whether they will be indeed going about shutting down some Curro branches around the country, because we do know that some of them are functioning today and learning is proceeding. I spoke to a representative from Curro as well, who has mentioned to me that later today they will be sending me a statement as to why they've made this decision, as well as who in government they've been able to speak to that would have authorized for them to continue with learning today. We'll also be speaking to MEC Panyaza Lesufu. I'm currently at Help Mekaar College here in Bromfontein, where the MEC will be visiting the management of the school to speak to them about the reports that he had also received about the school proceeding with learning today. So despite the announcement made by the Department of Basic Education last week. Right. So hopefully the MEC will also be able to speak on the matter taking place with the Curro schools, Blaine.
All right, two follow-ups, Nosipho. One, we have COSAS lined up immediately after you. We're going to be in conversation with Teboho Magafane, Secretary General of COSAS, so stand by for that. The second one is, I'm interested to know, and maybe many people who are watching this would want to know, what's the possible consequences for a school opening after it was announced that pupils will only be returning on the 15th of February. Any indication as yet from the Gauteng MEC? I know you're going to be in conversation with him in a short while, but has he given you any indication as to what's the possible consequences of this?
That's a question on everyone's mind, Blaine, and the MEC will be able to clarify that for us. For now, we cannot give you the answer as to what those consequences are, but from what we've seen with the Curro schools, for example, they're adamant that they are ready to welcome their learners. They have the adequate resources to try and ensure that learners are not contracting the virus from the premises, from the school premises at least. So we'll try and hear from all stakeholders involved as to what exactly their thoughts are on the matter.
Yeah, we need answers, and no doubt you will get them for us. Nosipho Mncube, live for us there in Johannesburg.